Hi, everybody. Welcome to TYT Sports. It's the NFL playoffs recap brought to you by the Vizio P-Series 4K Ultra HD Smart TVs. I'm joined today by J.R. Jackson and Lindsey McCormick. It was another stellar day of football. I mean, I think 3 out of these 4 games were really good football games. J.R., the one that everybody's talking about today, Dallas and Green Bay. You can't start this conversation without talking about Dez Bryant's catch, but give me your sense of the game as a whole before we dig in.
Well, it continued to be the same thing we saw from the Willis Reed type performance of Aaron Rodgers and come back from the injury and seeing what he could do. Because the whole thought was, okay, what are they going to do? They know he has a calf issue. They saw how he limped through the last game. Yeah. What are they going to do to stop him? I feel like they forgot he had a calf injury. That was the story of the game. What are you going to do to change what Aaron Rodgers will do to you? Because Aaron Rodgers will do it.
Yeah.
I didn't see them really do it.
It was 2 separate games. The injury to Rodgers, I felt like the first half was really mattered. And then the second half, the Cowboys seemed to go to sleep on that. And also Tony Romo seemed to have gotten hurt as well. So that was the other issue.
Although I thought the Cowboys' offensive line the second half looked great.
Yeah.
And at the first half, I thought Green Bay did a great job of limiting DeMarco Murray, which is what they had to do. I think his longest run in the first half was maybe 7 yards. But overall, I don't think it necessarily was that the Cowboys were bad. I just think that Aaron Rodgers in the second half and Green Bay as a whole was just a much better team.
Yeah, and as a football fan, I'm tired of limping, injured Green Bay Packers quarterbacks. I'm just tired of them.
Well, I want whatever they gave him in the locker room before halftime.
Yeah, no, I think everybody wants.
Yeah, no, there was a stat that I heard after the game because there was one particular blitz in the first half on Rodgers. And they said, it's one of those things, it's a rule, you don't blitz Aaron Rodgers because that's what he wants you to do. Because he finds the right man at the right time with the perfect pass. And they did it once, and I think he missed this pass, and he was very, he was agitated about it. Second half, they blitzed him 2 times the entire second half. I mean, if you don't give him any pressure, you don't test it, he's gonna do whatever he wants. And that was tougher. It took him a longer time to get there, but he still got there. You have to change up the game.
Yeah, and again, the elephant in the room is Dez Bryant, but let's talk about Tony Romo because we brought him up. What do you take away from Tony Romo in this game? Have we seen the best of Tony Romo now, and the best isn't good enough?
I don't think we saw Tony Romo's best yesterday, but I certainly don't think he was bad either.
No, I just mean in general. Like, is the Tony Romo we see now as good as Tony Romo can ever be?
The Cowboys hope not, because look how much they're paying him.
Well, obviously, that's what. And I think they were also surprised. A lot of Cowboys fans, a lot of people that cover the Cowboys, were kind of surprised by how well he did this season, especially coming off of last year.
Right. Honestly, I do think it's good enough. I mean, there's other factors besides Tony Romo, and again, we're going to get to the elephant in the room of Dez Bryant because that was a nice pass.
JR, you can't use the elephant in the room. I already used that, but it was a good try. Let's talk about Dez Bryant. I mean, he is the headline, that play, the headline of that game. Here's Dez Bryant in the dressing room, locker room. I'm a hockey guy, so they say dressing room. In the locker room after the game.
You seen what everybody else seen. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Never seen nothing like it.
You were sure that you made the catch?
I was sure. I tried to reach for the goal line.
What was your level of disbelief when the call was overturned?
I don't even understand why it was even a challenge.
They said that in that situation you have to maintain possession of the ball
I
all
didn't.
the way through the...
How didn't? I took 3 steps. You seen that, right?
It looked like a catch to me by the rule, I guess.
Yeah, I never... Have you ever seen that rule before?
Calvin Johnson.
No. It wasn't like that. I'm reaching for the touchdown. Like trying to score. Trying to break the play.
Yeah, I grew up despising the Cowboys, as a lot of people in sports do. I guess they called themselves America's team for a long time. You see Dez Bryant here, and whatever antics you know about Dez Bryant, he is an athlete who cares a lot about what he does. And that, I agree with him. I thought that was a catch, but there are people who know more about it than I who say, no, in fact, he didn't do what you're supposed to do. JR, what do you think? And did that change? I mean, it changed the game, obviously. Right. What do you think the effects are of that play?
Well, you're going to start getting, now that we're finally talking about the mouse in the house.
You've been saving it? You've had all this time, you come up with the mouse in the house?
Hey, we've talked about it 3 times. I think it's now a small issue. It's been all over the place. No, it's a little issue. But what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of people that are going to be calling for rule changes, which we're always going to, which happens, I feel like, every season because of one particular team's one particular play, and it's not going to happen. So calm down with that, because they're not going to change it. They just changed it because of all the other ambiguity with all the problems with catches and whether or not it's going to happen.
The
So
way
that's
it
why
is
they
now
changed
is
it.
because of it, right?
Yeah, they want to take away a lot of the interpretations that one official may have versus another and say, oh, well, did he control it this way, and then did the ball touch the ground, did he control it when he bounced? In other words, because what they wanted to stop happening was when the ball touched the ground, did it move? Did it touch the ground? Did he have control while it touched the ground and it bounced up? They just said if it moves at all, we're just going to go for that.
Right.
And so you have to apparently get back up and still have the ball without it ever moving. Apparently is what the rule is. And again, I was basing it on, because when I saw it live, I was rooting against the Cowboys, and I was thinking, oh, it's over, devastating.
Yeah.
Such an amazing catch.
You thought it was a catch.
Yes, yeah, and I was rooting against them. So my thought after they overturned it was, well, let's just see what the officials say, the retired officials, the guys who make the rules and interpret it with the 15 pages of it.
Yeah.
I have to believe them.
Yeah. Well, because the ruling on the field was it was a catch at the 1 yard line. And then McCarthy challenged it. And then the ref said, although, this was the official quote from the refs, although the wide receiver maintained possession of the ball, he must maintain possession throughout the entire process of the catch. When he lands and the ball comes loose and hits the ground before he repossesses it, making it incomplete. I honestly agree with Dez Bryant. I thought it was two different football acts. I thought he made the catch. I thought he took 3 steps, was reaching towards the goal line, and then, just lost the ball.
The act of reaching was another. Well, I mean, the 3 steps. I mean, because I think even in the official rules, they mentioned the football move.
Yeah.
Which
what
I think
is
was
a football move? If you're reaching for the goal line, if that's not a football move, then what is?
That's a football move.
Yeah.
You don't do that in any other pursuit in life.
Right.
It's not a hardware store owner move. It's not a shoemaker move. That is a football move. So here's the other part of it. I mean, we go over some of these amazing tweets, and a lot of them came from the Cowboys last week. You'll remember they tried to throw the ball. The Lions tried to throw the ball to Brandon Pettigrew, their tight end. Matthew Stafford did, and then all of a sudden Hitchens steps in, and what happens? There's that uncalled pass interference.
Yeah.
So they're in this game in a lot of people's minds because of the referees, and now they're out of it because of the referees. Do you think referees in general are playing too big a part in the NFL? And I mean, I do. For full disclosure, it makes it unenjoyable to watch. Yeah. Every time there's a play, we're looking for the flag because it's bound to happen.
Did you enjoy it more though when there wasn't much of any kind of replay system, and you saw something obvious? Maybe because the ref was 2 or 3 steps behind the play because he doesn't run as fast as these professional athletes, and he missed the play. I mean, there was a spot, just an obvious spot in the Cowboys game where the side judge gave him extra 2 yards, Jason Witten on a catch, and I was like, he was about 3 yards further, and they had to change that spot, but he couldn't tell he was three steps behind him.
Yeah.
So things like that, I don't know. There's going to be a frustration no matter what, I think, because there's a lot of people who are like, I can't believe these guys are human. We have to be able to stop the human factor.
Well, these games this weekend were like an audition for the refs too, and then the best refs of this weekend will ref the Super Bowl.
Right, but you can only audition from they have to select someone, unfortunately.
Right. So that's like the NFL telling us these refs are just our okay refs. Then let's find our best refs and put them in the Super Bowl.
But leagues do that. I mean, there's only one. I'll start with the Stanley Cup Final. There's only one Stanley Cup Finals. There's only one Game 7 in the World Series. So there is a meritocracy there. But what they don't, I think do very well in the NFL. For example, last week those crews hadn't worked together. Before.
Yeah.
How in the world could you not do that?
Yeah.
How could you not do that? Some more reaction from the sports world on Dez Bryant. LeBron James tweeting, what is the definition of a catch or not in the NFL? I really want to know. No one can answer the question. At what point did he not have the ball?
Well, he's a diehard Cowboys fan.
He is. Okay, well then let's go to Odell Beckham Jr. Of the New York Giants. I by no means cheer for Dallas, but I have no idea what or how that is not called a catch. That's a joke. He doesn't use vowels. How is that not a catch by Dez? This is Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. Reaching for the goal line was the football move in itself. I mean, that's the football move. And I think, Ocho Cinco makes a good point. You want a football move, there's your football.
Right, so it looks like down the line, it's been these wide receivers, great wide receivers. It's the athlete's point of view versus the refs and the rules point of view. and now they're clashing. And in 20 years, we're going to have machines
Well,
calling the games.
if there's
reffing the
that
games.
much confusion with the rule, then do away with it or modify it to where there's clear black and white as opposed to just all this chaos.
And I think that's what they think it is now. Even if it isn't to most of the community, they think it's black and white. Every time I keep hearing them say the same thing. Has to maintain possession throughout the process of the catch. And the process of the catch to them is hit the ground, get back up, and still have the ball. And they think that's definitive. And apparently it isn't.
Well, the answer
It seems like the three of you guys are in complete consensus that it was a catch.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's. We got to wrap up the clip.
We will.
But-
We will. But here's the thing: the three of us think it was a catch. The question becomes, what does Rob Lowe think?
Well.
And Rob Lowe tweets, "I thought Dez caught that ball, but both teams were awesome." Ever the diplomat.
We did this last week with Ben and everybody else that was a part of the panel, so make sure to check out those clips too. But chances for Packers to beat Seattle in Seattle next week. Percent chance that the Packers will win, starting with Michael will go around.
I say the Packers have a 37% chance
I was
of winning.
going to go 35.
in Seattle.
Are
Lindsay?
they giving Aaron Rodgers what they gave him at halftime? Because
Probably two
I
of
think
them.
their chances increase quite a bit.
What's your percentage number? Packers to win in Seattle. Lindsay McCormick.
40%.
40%.
Yeah.
A little better than me, J.R.
Yeah.
Jackson.
I went 35.
35. Right. Picking even ones. It's never even. You should know that.
Yeah.
Folks, thanks for watching this TYT Sports NFL playoff recap for J.R. Jackson, Lindsay McCormick. I'm Michael Schur, and this has been brought to you by the Vizio P-Series 4K Ultra HD Smart TV.